Riverside Extension Center, where this forum is located. And I want to welcome you and thank you for attending tonight's forum. This is a wonderful opportunity for you to meet the candidates and to hear positions on issues that are of vital interest and importance to the residents in our region. This event is one in a continuing series called Windows on the World Forums, and it is presented by UCR's Osher Lifelong Learning Institute. The timely, thought-provoking, and provocative debates and lectures are part of this Windows on the World series. As the continuing education and professional studies branch of the University of California, UCR Extension is proud to be associated with presenting this forum, and we thank you for coming. I'm pleased now to introduce tonight's moderator, Marcia McQuern, former editor and publisher of the Press Enterprise newspaper, and my former colleague as Associate Vice Chancellor for Strategic Communications at UC Riverside. Marcia?
To you all. Do it. You said not to touch it. Okay, hello. Welcome on behalf of our sponsors, the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute, the Press Enterprise, which is taking this for viewing on the web, ARP, Riverside League of Women Voters, the group, Latino Network, and Riverside's NAACP. Please help yourself to Election Day information and information about our sponsors, including subscriptions to the Press Enterprise in the back there. Our forum tonight is dependent on questions from our sponsors and from you. Does anyone need a card to submit a question? Please raise your hand and somebody will come by and give you a card. Or if you have a completed card and would like it picked up so we can ask it later. Our experienced timer here is Barbara Purvis, and she has a stopwatch in one hand and time cards for the candidates in the other. Barbara will keep our forum running on time, and I will be mean if people go over. Our format is opening statements from each candidate will be 2 minutes. Audience questions, they will have 1.5 minutes to answer each candidate. And the first candidate to answer has the option of a 30-second rebuttal after the second candidate has answered the question. Then we'll get on to the next one, and we'll go back and forth. The closing statement will also be 2 minutes. Our candidates are Riverside Community College District Board Trustee, Mark Tavaglione, and Riverside County District 2 Supervisor, John Tavaglione. Both are Riverside natives. In fact, their families have been here for generations. Mr. Takano is a high school teacher in Rialto, and Mr. Tavaglione is a Republican, as Mr. Takano is a Democrat, I'd say that. And Mr. Takano is a former commercial real estate broker. I tossed the coin ahead of time.
I'm the former commercial real estate.
Mr. Tavaglione.
I don't want to marry him.
Yes, he's definitely a former commercial real estate. And Mr. Takano is a Democrat, which I'm going to say too. Anyway, let's go forward. I tossed the coin to the speaking order. Mr. Takano will begin. Then we will simply alternate responses back and forth. Mr. Tavaglione will begin the closing statements. So let's get underway with the opening statements, and we ask you to hold applause until the end so we have the most time we can have for questions. Mr. Takano, the first question is from the group. The public constantly hears from candidates. Opening statements. Oh boy. Okay, sorry. 2 minutes. Yes, 2 minutes for opening statements. Thank you guys. You're helping. Mr. Takano.
Well, thank you, Marcia, and thanks to all the community partners who made this event possible. I'm a lifelong resident of this community. I was born and raised here. I've been your elected community college trustee for 22 years, and I've been a public high school teacher for 23. The biggest challenge facing our community is job creation, and how we're going to get our economy again. And the most important thing we can do is to improve our educational system, because great schools and great training opportunities attract great employers. We need to make Riverside a global place where global companies want to locate. Pass a real transportation bill to get our people back to work. And we need to make sure small businesses have access to loans so they can grow and expand and hire more people. I hope that this evening we'll have a chance to discuss the economy and also important issues such as college tuition, Medicare, and taking care of our veterans. I look forward to a spirited discussion, and thank you again. I'm pleased to be here tonight.
Thank you, Marcia. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for the opportunity to be here today at UCR. And before I even tell you a little bit about John Tavaglione, let's congratulate the UCR Medical School for their accreditation. I will tell you, Riverside County and my colleagues and I were very thankful to be a part of that, and we're just looking forward to next term, so we'll get it underway. As I mentioned, John Tavaglione, former commercial real estate broker, and member of the Riverside County Board of Supervisors. My roots are here in Riverside, California, Riverside County, and that's why I'm so proud to be here today. My family goes back 4 generations. My mother's side settled here in 1887, believe it or not, with my great-grandfather, her grandfather, owning and operating a carriage shop out on North Main Street, before motor-driven vehicles. And so that's what makes me very proud, especially proud, to be here today in front of all of you, running for this new seat for Riverside City and County. I attended college, schools all through Riverside, City of Riverside, graduated from Ramona High School. Immediately right after graduating from high school, started my own business. Held that for 2 years before marrying my wife Jan, and then went off to serve in the United States Army. Subsequent to that, I spent 25 years in private sector. And following that, the 10 years along with the private sector as a reserve police officer in the city of Riverside. After raising our kids, at the age of 38, I went back to school for my college degree at California Baptist College, and then subsequent extended the executive program here at the University of California, Riverside. I've been honored to be a member of the Board of Supervisors. I'm in my 5th term and currently their chair. Been through some very exciting times and also some very challenging times, as we are right now. Stop already. I look forward to the opportunity of talking about the issues this evening. Thank you.
Now the audience questions. Last call for turning in cards that have questions on them. So raise your hand if you need them, and somebody will come by and pick them up. So the first question would be to Mr. Tavaglione, since he was second on the opening statements. The group wants to know, the public constantly hears from candidates that jobs are the #1 priority. In a region where unemployment is high, tell us your specific to bring jobs to the district. Who will you work with, and what will it look like to John and Jane Q. Public?
I think you just need to go back on our track record, my track record. Just in the last year, since 2009 actually, the county created our Department of Foreign Trade. We have now foreign trade agreements, memorandums of understanding countries. That's opened up trade opportunities for manufacturers here in Riverside County to build their goods and services and sell them overseas. It's created 40,000 jobs since 2009. I was instrumental in the 91 freeway expansion that you see now and have to deal with congestion, which I know is a pain. But we have 16,000 jobs created from that program. And that's a $600 million program. We just approved the 91 freeway expansion from Corona all the way through to Pierce. That's going to create 16,000 jobs, along with $1.3 billion in investment. Those are the types of things that I will take to U.S. Congress through experience and understanding of how to get the job done.
Thank you. Mr. Takano, your turn.
Well, let me just say, to begin with, that for all of Mr. Tavaglione's experience as job creation at the county, it really hasn't amounted to much, because we have 12% unemployment, which is the highest unemployment rate in the state of California, among the highest in the nation, above the average at least. So all these jobs he's talking about haven't netted out to much of a gain. You know, Congress is broken. They have stood in the way of job creation. They have not passed the American Jobs Act. They stood in the way of things that should attract bipartisan support. Items such as tax breaks for businesses that provide that hire more people. A real transportation bill, a full 5-year transportation bill that would have put more of our construction workers back to work. But this Republican ideological Congress stood in the way of that. We could, as a community college trustee, I'm really disappointed that they did not pass aid to community colleges so we could have kept more of our doors open and expanded our training programs to train more of our people for the jobs that do exist. President Clinton talked about 3 million jobs in this country going unfilled because we lack the trained people to fill them.
Thank you. Mr. Tavaglione, would you like a response?
I would. You know, yes, we do have currently a 12.5% unemployment rate, but that's fallen by 3.5% in the last 3 years. And why has it fallen by 3.5%? Because we've been proactive in finding creative ways to put people back to work. We were hit the hardest in the state of California because we were the most active growth area in the state of California for 4 years. So when the construction trades went away, so did the employment. Now we're going to have to rebuild that, and we do that through people that know how to get the job done, like me.
Thank you. Mr. Takano, you're first on this next one. ARP would like to know, would you put Medicare on stronger financial ground and strengthen it for future generations?
Well, I actually, applaud the president for strengthening Medicare by closing the prescription drug donut hole. I'm the only candidate